watching everybody work. Fuck that fucking job, that little pay by the hour. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, my back hurting and I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, nigga, on soul. Yeah, caught between the two, get this money, go home. Yeah, all these people so, now these bitches, they messy. First day I came in, I bossed up on the bosses. And they promise nigga this, promise nigga that. Want my ass to work, then bring that paper back. Sean, where you been? I been taking the shit. Knowing damn well that I don't fucking sleep. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitchin' and crying. And I'm saying, fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, me and bro, we just posted. Look him in the eye, shake my head disappointed. We gotta visualize, summarize, execute. These people dropping like fly, why the fuck we still here? Man, fuck that fucking job, when I pull up I hate it. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, that's on all of their faces. Fuck that fucking job, man, I'm already lit. Man, I hear one thing, boy, you bound to get hit. Man, the bills cross a nigga's brain. Damn, that's how you keep a nigga damn a slave. Damn, money supposed to be a tool. Damn, for a purpose, what's your purpose for? Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitchin' and crying. And I'm saying, fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm sick of that shit, I know you sick of it too, man. Money supposed to be a tool, but man, what's your purpose though? It's supposed to benefit a purpose. Shout out Boom Man now.
Good, nah.
Push up position.
We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, your leech ass, love fame, I won't war, got the same, fuck wrong. Fuck wrong, these people. Fuck wrong. I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, they fuck wrong. Pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man, fuck wrong. They get your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You damn scared rag, coward ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, y'all young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah. All these niggas want down hate, but tell them zip it lip. Cause you a dumb ass, scared ass boy, little body bitch. Damn. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know nigga don't reminisce. I spit flavors on these damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. But you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with it damn scripture with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true line nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. I got big rank, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, your leech ass, love fame, I won't war, got the same, fuck wrong. Fuck wrong, fuck wrong. I tell them, nigga, fuck wrong. You get your shit together, nigga, fuck wrong. Work it. I'ma do this shit till I rock, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like your pot, you little body bitch, and I'm smooth with it, y'all a zock, you little body bitch, and I switch nigga on that thought, little body bitch, and I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch, and I'm stone cold like a bond, you little body bitch, and I'm a warrior like that bar, you little body bitch, and my aim like not a zock, you little body bitch, need a princess part bar, little body bitch, or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch, yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch, just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got it, be right, you mad, get stoned, work hard, get play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, we purple, we play, the new towns, love fame, hold on, not same,
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Christian church or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. If it's not under Commanding General Yahanna, it's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? If we be listening to anybody else that's not Commanding General Yahanna, we be in a worse spot than we are in right now, because of Commanding General Yahanna. You know, we've been getting it out the mud, like literally. You know what I'm saying? All these brothers that have been up in that's up in the school currently, you know what I'm saying, are in way better positions than we were when we was in the world. Because when we was in the world, we was in mud, out in the mud, you know what I'm saying? The valley of the dry bones. No matter what position in life we were in, you know, we could have been making 6 and 7 figures. We were still in the mud. Why? Because we were doing things that's against the Most High. We was getting set up to have a great fall. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just because, and a lot of Israelites, a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians like to equate success with, success with material things, having a good job or being able to stack some bread. All that is great. But if the Most High didn't give it to you, it is worth nothing. Right. Because as much as you have done, whatever you may have done to stack them things up, if it ain't built on a solid foundation, and when I say solid foundation, I'm talking about the Most High giving it to you. If it ain't built on a solid foundation, it's going to be blown away. It's going to be. I seen a video where a tornado came through, and it was a dash. It was on a shopping center, right? Mm-hmm. And a dash cam. Somebody had the dash cam on, in the vehicle, and you seen bright sunny day, and then you see it started getting dark, and you see the wind start picking up in a matter of 20 and 30 seconds. The whole building and everything in front of it blew away like a house of cards. That's what I'm talking about when I say if it's not set on a strong foundation, i.e. the Most High giving it to you, it's going to be blown away. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the reason why I say this is because you look at the success that Mr. October, aka Reggie Jackson, aka Mr. October, the type of success he's had, and he said it out his own mouth. He was like, I wouldn't want to do the things that he did. He wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. We're going to get into it in a second. But the things this brother went through, he didn't want anybody to go through it. You have something, bro?
I'm going to say, when I opened up that window and going to the left. If I do that during the stream to get the link, would it interrupt the stream?
It would not interrupt the stream. However, what you want to do if it's not in that same tab, just copy it.
I gotta go to the stream.
Yeah, it's not gonna bother it. It's not gonna bother the stream. So yeah, just copy it and then open up another tab and go over there, and then when it comes time, share that tab. If you're having any issue, just let me know. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, type it in the chat. We're gonna get to all your questions. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to your comments as well. If you need some guidance, some instructions, or whatever, just go ahead, type it in the chat. This is what we're here for. We're here for our people. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm talking about is the things that many of us so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans know. And when I say many, I'm talking about there's some people out there that. You good? Okay. Most High in Christ. There's some brothers and sisters out there that quote unquote don't see race. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne said, he don't see race because he had some oppressors help him get out of poverty. He had some oppressors help him, get the bag. You know what I'm saying? That's why he doesn't see race. Well, that's a lie. That's a lie, and I know it's a lie. Everybody sees race. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're in it, and that makes it even worse, even more Uncle Ruckusy for you to actually say something like that. You know how many young people that look up to him, and this is another reason why we shouldn't look up to entertainers as our leaders or our quote unquote elders. You know what I'm saying? You know how when I say elder, I'm talking about someone who has some wisdom. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't look up to them. Only thing he can teach me is how to put some bars together. Right. That's the only thing he can teach me. Right. If that. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's about it. Right. That's about it. He can't teach me nothing about life. There is nothing that he has gone through that he can teach me to be a better man. Nothing. As much as he's been through, there's nothing he can teach me. Well, how do I know this? Because he says stuff like he doesn't see race. He doesn't see race doesn't exist to him. He says stuff like that, and we are unfortunately the only people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, who look up to entertainers, sports figures, athletes, as our, men of renown, our men of so-called wisdom, when they are not, they shouldn't be our role models. Right. If you want to be a rapper, you should look up to them in that area. If you want to be a better basketball player, you should look up to those ballers that can do what you want to do. You want to be a better football player, you should look up to those football players that do what you want to do. But as far as, doing things in general in life, nah, man, they ain't it. Right. They ain't it. They barely know in the ins and outs of life. They live quite literally in another world. Right. In the same world, but in another world. You know what I'm saying? Right. Quote unquote, we outside. Mm-hmm. We outside. And they inside. We both slaves. They get a better piece of they get a better cut of balls meat at the table. You know what I'm saying? While we get the scraps that's left over. We still ain't eating at the table. You know what I'm saying? Right. That ain't us. We need to stop looking to them as men of renown. Right. Now we can use them. We can use them as examples and use them and take from their experience and see that the road that is presented to us from our oppressor is not lit. Right. It's not the way. Right. Why? Because we're gonna get into, if anybody ever seen what Reggie Jackson has said over this past week. You know what I'm saying? He said some stuff on national TV that nobody was expecting. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be a fluff piece. It was supposed to be a piece that you know, he's supposed to say, "Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited that I'm still alive. And I'm seeing baseball, you know, and its glory and everything like that. And I'm glad to see." And he was surrounded by, you know, by Israelites. You know what I'm saying? He was surrounded by us. It was at least three of us up there. Yep. And he could have been just like, man, I'm happy to see, you know, where I came from to where you guys are now. I believe most of those guys up there that was retired to what, you know, the game has gone forward. But nah, he was like, man, I'm 70-something years old. You know what I'm saying? And when I was coming up, and he had the things that he was saying wasn't that long ago. You know how the oppressor says, you know, that's in the past. That's in the past. You know, give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Yeah, give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 10, because these oppressors always say, hey man, that's in the past. That's not, you know, that's not that. It's funny, but it's not funny. They would say something like, hey man, that's in the past. You know, we need to get over that. That none of that. No one has owned any slaves today, which is a lie. You know what I'm saying? The things that happened before shouldn't be we shouldn't be punished for the things that our fathers did. When the Bible actually says, prepare slaughter for the children for the children for the iniquities of what their fathers did. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Bible says. That's what God says. So when our oppressor says, don't, you know, we didn't do anything, those were our fathers and our forefathers. Well, the scripture says to prepare slaughter for you, for what your fathers did. Why? Because you're benefiting from everything that they've done to us. And you're not turning the tide. When I say turning the tide, I mean empty out your bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? Put our kids in the correct schools. You know what I'm saying? Teach our kids the right history, not the history that you've rewritten, but what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? Take away the redlining, and now there's something called economic redlining. You know what I'm saying? We was down here, coming down here in Southeast, and we're passing a gas station, and this is one of the, you know, rougher areas. You know what I'm saying? One of the rougher areas, and the gas is like $4 a gallon. Who is buying gas for $4 a gallon? I know gas prices is high right now, but $4 a gallon? You go to the you know, to where the diplomats are, it's not even $4 a gallon over there. So why are they overcharging us $4 a damn gallon for some gas? You know what I'm saying? Take away all that stuff, and then work for us for free for over 400 years. And then we can start discussing, you know, if you're sorry or not. But until then, I don't want to hear a word you say. I'm going to take my love from you and put it on my people. You want to know why? This is why. Read what you got.
At the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
It says, never trust your enemy. Why? Because just like iron rusts, and iron will rust, just like iron rusts, so is your enemy. We'll read that part again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So is his wickedness.
Just like he may be saying, you know, that's in the past. You know, I didn't do the things that my fathers do, but you give him enough time. You know what I'm saying? Give him enough time. You're going to see how that wickedness will shine through. You'll see it, because they were bred by it. The things that we're going to hear what Reggie Jackson is saying, the people who are saying we didn't do what our fathers did, those are the people that are getting raised by the people that did that to Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? These are the children and grandchildren of the men and women who was doing these things. Not too long ago, Not too long ago. Reggie Jackson, we're gonna look it up, but when did he retire? When did Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, retire? I want to say it was like in the 80s, maybe even the 90s. It wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like
1987.
87. We all know somebody who was living in 1987.
Right.
We all know people. There's many of us were probably born in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say the things that happened to Reggie Jackson was so long ago. How many years is that? That's like what, 30?
87, 1980. You said how many years ago from today?
Yeah. 40, 37 years. 37 years ago. From, you know, it's a span of 37 years since he retired. And he played, you know, his heyday was in the 70s and the 80s. We all know people who had, you know, who had their heyday in the 70s, in the 80s and whatnot. Grandparents are still alive. Someone who still have grandparents that are still alive can tell you about what went on in the 70s and 80s. It wasn't that long ago. And we're going to hear the type of treatment that happened not so long ago. And hope some of you know this. There are still some places called sundown states, sundown towns, not states, sundown towns. You know what a sundown town is? That means if you're black, you better get in the house or you got to leave town before sundown. That still happens today, right now. Right now. But, you know, people want to say presidents want to run on make America great again. Well, who was America great for? It was never great for us. It was never great for us. Before the colonies, that I would probably say the only time America was great was when it wasn't called America. When the oppressor didn't, you know, fumble its way over here. That's probably a time when it was great, when there was no oppressors over here. It was straight natives. You got some?
That's what I was gonna say. It was the Americas was better when the Native American Indians ruled it.
Yeah, exactly. That was the only thing. If they're talking about that, then they need to pack their things up and get the hell back across the ocean.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go back to being vagabonds and leave. That's the only time, you know, America was great. But the second y'all non-body washers, you know, step foot on and Central and South America, that's when it went to hell. That's when it went to, you know, went to crap. But these oppressors, you know, saying make America great again, they're not talking about, you know, making it great for everybody. They're talking only making it great for one group of people. I saw a video today, a post. It was a, you know how they have like a picture and it is like kind of like a faded picture and it is posted in the sky. You know what I'm saying? It's like a faded picture posted in the sky. It was of this old white man. And the caption said, and had some music, you know, some like happy music to it. Caption said, you know, Grandpa smiling down, seeing immigrants serve us food, bringing us food to the door. Like really? You know, I had to look in the comments, see, had to get my Umar Johnson on. You know what I'm saying? Just look at which brother or sister laughed at that meme. And then I had to, you know, like, really? But that's what they think of us. That's what they think of it. And in the age of the internet where you can be anybody you want to be, You know what I'm saying? You can make up a fake profile and say what you want to say, or even say what you want to say on your real profile and still try and get away with it. These people don't care nothing about us. So why should we care anything about them? And you know why? You know why we are in this state? Is because we have weak Christian leaders. Weak, lying Christian leaders who lead us to the slaughterhouse. Who lead us to the slaughterhouse and say that, you know, we need to be equal with these people. These weak, lying Christian pastors who say, you know, we must, they misquote the Bible and say we must turn the other cheek and let them put more chains on us. Let them put more restrictions on us. Let them destroy us even more. You know what I'm saying? Our pastors who are, you know, basically pimps in a pulpit, who sell us out. These are the people who need to go. We get rid of, you know, clean our house first. I just seen that pastor who got robbed in the church. You know what I'm talking about? But you know who I'm talking about, right? the brother who got robbed. He was in the church, yeah. Well, it was his no, his brother. He it was in New York. It was live streaming, you know, his church, his sermon, whatever, and then, you know, some armed men with some masks came up and robbed him and the congregation. You know what I'm saying?
What they call that? First Sunday? What's the name of that movie?
I didn't see
I.S.U.P.K. Yeah, I.S.U.P.K. last Sunday. I.S.U.P.K. and Tracy Morgan tried to rob the church. I can't remember what it's called. It was some Sunday though. I don't
know. But this really happened. Okay. They ran up in the church and robbed him while it was live. You know what I'm saying? He just got 9 years for scamming, you know, the people in his congregation. Just got 9 years. Talking about cleaning house. The Most High is cleaning his house. You know what I'm saying? You see T.D. Snakes, you know, his house is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? Because he likes to be swallowed up. He likes to be swallowed up. I don't even know why these pastors, you know, last this long. I have no idea why these pastors, why anybody puts up with this this nonsense that they be, this dribble that they be spewing out. You know what I'm saying? Well, that one pastor got 9 years. Why? Because he's a liar. He's a liar. And he's going away for 9 years. He told us that this is our, you know, this is our king. He told us this was God. And because he told us this was God, we believe that we need to make America great again and get back in physical chains and do what Master tells us to do. Why? Because he's in the house and we out in the field. We need to stop listening to them wicked pastors. When you get a chance, get me Jeremiah 23 and 1. Jeremiah 23 and 1. And let me know if anybody has anything on online. If anybody say anything.
Okay. I got the book of Jeremiah chapter 23 and 1.
Yeah.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord.
So he said, woe. Woe means destruction. Destruction to the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep. Woe, destruction to the pastors. Destruction to TD Snakes. Destruction to I don't even know Jamal Bryant. Destruction to this brother who I don't even know the dude's name. This brother that got locked up, got 9 years. Anybody out there who knows who I'm talking about, just put the name in the chat. The brother who got robbed, who got robbed at gunpoint in his church. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to say like a few months later, a few weeks or a few months later, he put someone out because I think they were talking crazy to his wife. Even that wasn't masculine. Even that wasn't masculine. Like, why is anybody listening to this dude? Why did anybody listen to this guy? Slick talking, you know, just pimping the pulpit.
Right.
Scripture says destruction to the pastors that destroy and scatter his sheep.
Right.
He's destroyed us. Men like him, men like Thefio Dollar and Jamal Bryant,
Right.
and what's that dude that shriveled away and died, that was touching on them boys. Eddie Long. He made a powerful speech, about how David had 3 stones and he didn't throw one yet, and then walked off. And the SpongeBob, a few moments later,
right.
Pastor Eddie Bishop Long has passed away of unknown, whatever. You keep messing with on the Most High's name. This is what it's saying. Woe unto the pastors. That means destruction to anybody who destroys the Most High God's sheep. Anybody who leads so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians astray. Leads us astray so much that we have to endure the things that Reggie Jackson had to endure. We have to endure the things that Ruby, man, I forget the little sister's name. The sister who the little girl who went to who got integrated into the school. Ruby Bridges. You know what I'm saying? Why did that little girl have to endure all that crap that even grown men and women shouldn't have to endure? You know what I'm saying? What's that? Exactly. Let alone a child. You wouldn't put, if anybody would put that type of abuse on dogs, there's a whole organization out there that will not stop until you're held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna do that to a child, but I'm not surprised. You want to know why I'm not surprised? Because they used to take our children, our babies, and tie them up and let them out screaming in the swamp, just so that they can bait the alligators and then have the alligators come in so that they can get them alligators. They didn't care whether they got there a little too early and got the gators before they killed the baby. So like you unalive the baby, terminated the baby, or whether it came afterwards and executed the baby. That's how I know that they don't care. They never cared about us. They never cared about us. How could you care about somebody you round up and then brand and then ship away? They never thought of us as humans. They never thought of us as people. According to their constitution, I am still 3/5 of a man. Barack is still 3/5 a man, according to their constitution. But it's a good thing their constitution ain't the worth of paper, to wipe your hind parts on. According to the Most High God, me and him are better than fine gold. That's according to our constitution. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Don't matter what the oppressor's constitution says. What our constitution says is that we are better than fine gold. Out of 1,000 men, you can only find one righteous. Is that what the scripture says? Most High God says we're better than fine gold. Even the lowest man in the kingdom is going to be better than the highest man in of any heathen. Once the kingdom come, you You look at, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and you think we're nothing. Well, the Most High God has something else to say about that. And you Christian pastors, you're the cause for what Reggie Jackson had to go through. You know what I'm saying? You're the cause for what Ruby Bridges had to go through. You're the cause for all them brothers and sisters that integrated. You're the cause for Mattheya has some family that there's a school right down here in Virginia that they went through hell. They went through hell. Right now it's still standing there and is a museum. The stories that come out of there, and that's not, like I said, that's not too long ago. Mattheya can go and do some interviews with the people that went there. And he is a descendant. When I say descendant, I don't mean like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 generations later. Man, that's his grandfather. You know what I'm saying? He has aunties and cousins that and including him that know the story firsthand because they're hearing it straight from the mouth of the people that went there. And the stories that he tells, man. Just like what Reggie Jackson has to say, and even what the things that he had to say was cleaned up. Even though it was a shock to everybody, it was cleaned up. You have some?
Like, what exactly, like, I guess happened with the Reggie Jackson thing?
What exactly happened? Well, you know what? We got it up. Do you have it up, queued up, ready to play? Let's hear what Reggie Jackson had to say. Let's hear what he had to say. And like I said, this was on national TV. He didn't hold back. He didn't give a damn because they didn't give a damn how the way they treated him. So he didn't give a damn when he got on a microphone and told his story and told the truth about not just him, but other Black Americans that had to deal with this. It's not just Black Americans. So-called Native American Indians and so-called Latinos had to go through the same treatment. This brother had to go through, and he was a superstar. I'm a sports fan. I'm a big sports fan, and I wouldn't say I like it, but I can understand if he was the reason my team didn't go to the championship or lost the championship like 4 or 5 times in a row, and they would say something like that. I would kind of understand it. Why? Because I'm a sports fan. You know what I'm saying? That mother, knocked us out the goddamn playoffs again. Not because he's black, but because he's better than us. I'm not condoning it, but I can say I understand what the hell they would say. But that had nothing to do with what they were saying about him. It had everything to do, and in many cases, they were fans of the team. But they hated him. They hated him to the point where they were willing to burn down, other people's property. They were willing to extinguish people's lives just because someone is sleeping there. And they call us animals. They call us savages. We're savages. Let's play it.
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like coming back here is not easy. The racism that I played here, when I played here, the difficulty of going through different places where we traveled. Fortunately, I had a manager and I had players on the team that helped me get through it. But I wouldn't wish it on anybody. People said to me today, I spoke, and they said, "You think you're a better person? You think you won when you played here and conquered?" I said, I would never want to do it again. I walked into restaurants and they would point at me and said, "Can't eat here." I would go to a hotel and they say, then can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner, and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here. Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers. We'll go where we're wanted.
Pause.
Fortunately.
So we're gonna continue on. But
I would
find out where that was. I think it was in Yankee Stadium when that broadcast happened. Just find out where. I believe it was in Yankee Stadium. But he said a whole lot just in that part right there. He said a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Alex Rodriguez, which is a brother. I want to say, and it's two other brothers that was on the stage. Asked him, "Hey, how's it feel to be back in here?" And I want to say that was in New York. But
When they asked how's it feel to be back in here,
yeah,
so that clip,
yeah, that clip. Where were they? He played in Kansas City. He played in Oakland, which is California. You know what I'm saying? California historically is supposed to have been known to be, you know, not the Deep South. That's where Negroes went. They went to the north and they went to the west coast. Why? Because, you know, it's just suffocating.
Rickwood Field.
And where's that? So he played in Kansas City, he played in Oakland, and he played in New York. His nickname is Mr. October. Why? Because October was a playoffs historically for Major League Baseball, and when October came around, that's when he shined the most.
Birmingham, Alabama.
He was in Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. So when he came back to Birmingham, Alabama, Bull Connor and them, you know what I'm saying? He came back to there. Now, why would you ask an old black man how does it feel to come back to the South? Like, come on. Are y'all so far removed from reality? Why would you ask an old black man? I thought they was in New York, Salakia. Because it was a Yankee that asked him, you know, and I know he played on the Yankees. But why would you ask an old black man how does it feel to come back here? You think he's gonna be like, man, it's all, you know, a cup of roses and tea petals and whatnot. Man, I loved it down here. You serious? No. Alabama, it's a deep South. You know what I'm saying? Right. Deep South. I want to say, I know this. I think it was Alabama. I think it was Alabama. Was the last state to ratify the 13th Amendment. I think it was the last state to ratify the 13th Amendment. That state ratified drinking liquor before they ratified the abolition of slavery. He played in a state that preferred black people being chained. And you want to ask him, you know, how's it feel to be back there? You know what I'm saying? Right. They just a history lesson. Prohibition was in the 1900s. That was like the 19th, the 19th Amendment or something like that. And in the early 1900s, I want to say probably like the 20s or something like that, maybe a little earlier. That's when they did away with prohibition. Prohibition only lasted a handful of years. It was like, nah, we need our liquors. So if you don't know, 75% of it to make an amendment legal, you know what I'm saying, to make it a bill legal in an amendment in the United States of America, 75% of the current states would have to say yes, would have to agree to it. They said yes, or this state in particular, you know, agreed to having liquor back on, you know, back being legal before they said slavery should be illegal. 2004 is when they ratified it. 2004. everybody out here who's listening to me, we're getting past that time, but damn near everybody who's listening to me was alive in 2004. You know what I'm saying? Was born before 2004. So that means when you was born, chances are most likely Alabama, and I want to say it was either Alabama or Mississippi, but I want to say it's Alabama. You can correct me if I'm wrong. They believe that we should still be in chains. It didn't just become illegal to lynch a nigga? Salakia. 2019. It just became illegal to lynch us. Like, are you serious? So he's saying back in the 70s, in the 80s, it's not that long ago. 40, 50 years ago, it's not that long ago. Everybody knows someone who's in their 40s, 50s, 60s, knows what he's talking about. When they went into a restaurant, the doggone New York Knicks, the New York Yankees, you know what I'm saying? A professional baseball team goes into a restaurant and they said, that nigga can't be in here. He can't come in here. That nigga gotta go. Those are words straight from his mouth. If you can, let's rewind that just a bit and just let him hear what they. Matter if I do it from the beginning, Baba Shaw.
Emotional is it for you to come back to a play that you played with one of the greatest teams around?
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like coming back here is not easy. The racism that I played here, when I played here, the difficulty of going through different places where we traveled. Fortunately, I had a manager and I had players on the team that helped me get through it. But I wouldn't wish it on anybody. People said to me today, I spoke and they said, you think you're a better person? You think you won when you played here and conquered? I said, I would never want to do it again. I walked into restaurants and they would point at me and said, can't eat here. I would go to a hotel and they say, then can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here.
Nigga can't come.
Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers. We'll go where we're wanted.
Pause.
Fortunately.
So this is supposed to be a welcome home dinner for the manager, like the head coach. And they said that nigga can't come in here. And instead of having this welcome home dinner, they had to go to the diner and eat some burgers. That was the compromise. They still wanted that, that manager to be there, but they didn't want to serve that nigga. So the compromise was to go to the diner and just have some hamburgers. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? And we're supposed to be equal? You want me to help you make America great again? You want me to help you to go back to that? Is that what you want me to help you to do? Hell no. Right. Hell no. I'm not doing it. But you know who is doing it? TD Jakes, TD Snakes, Theft Your Dollar, Jamal Bryant. The list goes on. The list goes on. All your Christian pastors that say this is Jesus. All your Christian pastors that worship on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Worship on Sundays. Right. All your pastors that say pastor collection played around and say at the same time say that the laws are done away with. You can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. As a matter of fact, we're having a seafood bowl, after Bishop Juanita Jenkins, teaches us about whatever. It's their fault. It's their fault. Reggie Jackson had to go through this. is Martin Luther King's fault that Reggie Jackson had to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Cap Mashak brought out earlier that about how they planned the demise of the Negro League. You know what I'm saying? He brought out last week how the way the oppressor planned the demise of the Negro League. There was a brother who organized all of this and put it all together. The way you know, baseball is like right now, people coming down in the stands, you know, get your pitas, get your hot dog, get your bit, whatever. That came from us. You know what I'm saying? How the way someone would slide and steal a base. That came from us.
Right.
Bunting and using your athleticism to get to the base before that guy throws you out. That came from us. All the exciting things that you know, baseball, Salakia, baseball is not really that exciting to me. I've been to a few games, been to a few stadiums or whatnot. It's not all that exciting, but the exciting parts to it came from us. Once upon a time, that was America's sport. That was America's sport, and I can just imagine how slow and boring it could have been without us in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But all that stuff came from us, and they drained our, you know, the Negro League. And it was supposed to be an agreement, like, hey, you're taking some of our best players, some of our best innovators in the sport. You're gonna have to pay us. The oppressor agreed, just like we read in Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust them. Even when they wrote it down and said that we was going to do this, they never did it. They never did it. So they did. They drained our Negro Leagues far enough so for us to, you know, slowly, you know, go away. Where the people, the men who was in charge of it, you know, making it grow, making it flourish, couldn't sustain it anymore because the draw of the oppressors, you know, money was just too great. Now, when they was, you know, when the Jackie Robinsons and the other brothers who soon led after them went to Major League Baseball, they was not getting paid what you know the oppressors was getting paid. It was not getting paid what the oppressors was getting paid, even though they was way better. Way better. Jackie Robinson, I want to say his average was like $450 or something like that. And I want to say like the best of the whites was like in the 200s. It was like in the 200s, man. Like, come on. These guys needed us in order to prop up their, you know, their league. And just like these Christian pastors, they promise us something when nothing is there. How do you think the Christian pastors, you know, learn this crap from? They learn it from the oppressor. They didn't learn it from the Bible. You want to know how? I saw a clip. Let's give Kansas City a hand, man. I saw a clip. The cut was just so smooth and surgical. The brother said it started out with this Christian lost brother was saying, you know, hey, y'all Israelites, right? Y'all believe in multiple wives, right? And he was trying to be slick, right? He's trying to be slick. So the brother behind the camera was like, hey, man, you believe in the 12 tribes? You believe in the 12 tribes of Israel? You believe that God's chosen people, right? He's like, yeah, I believe in the 12 tribes of people, the 12 tribes of Israel. I believe that God's chosen people. He was like, you know, every you know, all of them came from 4 different women. And he was like, just walked away. He's cut. He didn't even know it. But the reason why he didn't know it and he didn't believe in what God told us that we can and what we can do, he didn't believe that. He got cut. And you want to know why he got cut? It's because he's choosing to listen to the oppressor. Even though his pastor, his preacher could look just like him, that those messages aren't coming from him. It's coming from the oppressor. And the oppressor told us that we need to integrate with our oppressor. We need to, become on the same level playing field as our oppressor. But how are we getting on the same playing field as the oppressor when they are teaching our kids? They are grading our kids, huh? How are we on the same playing field? How are we in the same playing field when we get sick, we need to go to their doctors and they don't believe a damn thing that we tell them? How is that? I know. His brother told me about his brother, his blood brother. His wife had 10 kids, and the last kid that they had, she was having some complications, right? So she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Hey," of course it was an oppressor doctor. The doctor said, "I don't see anything wrong with you. I don't believe there's anything wrong with you. Go home." She went home and didn't wake up.
Checked out.
She checked out. Why? Because the doctors didn't know anything about that. Serena Williams was talking. When she had her baby, she did not want to. She wanted to have a natural birth. She did not want to get a C-section. She was having some complications. They was like, well, we can't wait any longer. You need to get a C-section. Which having a C-section, in America, it's a common practice only because they can charge you more money for the C-section. Not because you need it. There are some cases where a woman may need a C-section, but majority of the time that's not the case. Majority of the time it's just the oppressor wants to charge you extra money. It's all about the oppressors. Come to think about it, you would think that this is the oppressor's God. But really, this is not the oppressor's God. The oppressor's God is money. You know what I'm saying? As long as he can get that money, he can do anything he wants to do. And that's his goal. That's what he wants to do. But when Serena Williams was having a baby, like I said, she was having some complications. And when she was having some complications, she told him that she didn't want to have a C-section because she had some issues with blood clots. So she didn't want to risk having, blood clots and whatnot, right? So she told him this. So she was preferring a natural birth. Long story short, they couldn't wait any longer. The baby was coming. It was detrimental. They were saying it was detrimental to the baby if she would have waited any longer. So she was like, all right, she agreed to having the C-section. She had the C-section. The baby came out, healthy and whatnot. But she was saying, hey, man, I don't feel right. I don't feel right. There's something off. Something's not right. So the doctor was like, we performed the C-section. It was a success. Everything went well. You don't have anything to worry about. She was like, can you run some tests? It's like, no, we're not going to do that. She was like, I know my body. I'm, a lot of people, they say they know their body or whatnot, but athletes are more in tune with their body because they're athletes. That's their so-called bread and butter. If they're a little off, they tend to know something is more important or more damaging to them than the average person like you and I. Why? Because they're really in tune with their body, right? So she was like, no, you need to go and run some tests. They declined, politely declined. Was like, nah, we don't think you need it. She was like, I'm not asking no more. I'm telling you, run these tests or else. And because she was Serena Williams, and actually it was she was doing a documentary at that time. There were cameras there. They didn't want to get sued. They didn't want to get sued by a high profile athlete, so they obliged her, quote unquote, obliged her. And I don't even understand why it's such a a big ask, especially when someone is paying for it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm offering a service and someone asks me to perform this higher costing service, why the hell am I gonna refuse it? Why would I refuse it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they refused it. After a while, they came around. After she threatened them, they came around and did the test. When they finally did the test, they found that she had multiple blood clots. She had multiple, and I'm not speaking, patois. She had multiple blood clots, and if she would have went home, she would have expired as well. Why? How can we be on equal ground when we got people like that? Let me tell you another story. Shalaka. Let me tell you another story. It was this black nurse, right? And she was saying how whenever there's a shift change, they would have to, talk to each other and say, hey, this person did this, this person's waiting on this pre-op or post-op or whatever it is that they have to do. They have to take this medication and stuff like that. The white nurse told the black nurse, hey, this one just had a baby, but I'm recommend I had scheduled a psyche valve on her because she just kept hitting her head. She kept hitting her, and I don't understand why she kept hitting her head. It's like a psyche valve. She was hitting her head, right? So she asked the white nurse, like, is she black? And the white nurse was like, yeah, she's black. She's like, does she have like a weave in her hair?
Right.
She was like, yeah. She's like, nah, get those, Barbara under the chair. The water. She's like, did she have a like a hairpiece of weave? She was like, yeah. She's not crazy. She's just scratching her head. You know how some sisters, when the head itch, they go like this. This white devil, Slaget, yeah, the water. This devil was gonna make her go through a psyche valve because she didn't know that black people scratch their head like this when either they have some braids or they have a weave or a wig on.
Yep.
So how are we gonna be equal to these people when our lives literally are in their hands? Literally are in their hands. We can't be equal with them because we're not equal with them.
Right.
We're not equal. Would you say that your beloved, award-winning Rottweiler is equal with you? As much as you love that thing, you know that dog is not equal with you. As much as you would love it, we are not equal with them.
Right.
And according to the Bible, it says we are better than them.
That's right.
Better than everybody that's on the face of the earth. If you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. All you gotta do is read Deuteronomy 7-6.
That's right.
But do we have anything online?
Nope.
No. All right, go play the rest of that video, Bubba Show.
I had a manager, Johnny McNamara, that if I couldn't eat in the place, nobody would eat. We'd get food to travel.
How emotional is it for you to come back to a play that you played?
Oh man, they don't
one
have
of
the whole
greatest
thing
teams around.
What I tell you,
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like,
cut it. But he goes on to say that that he had teammates that he would sleep on their couches, 3 or 4 times a week. And when the people in the building found out, or people in the neighborhood found out, he named several names. They were oppressors. They allowed him to sleep in their house. Now, this is Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. You know what I'm saying? This Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, famous. And they said if you don't get him out of that house, out of that apartment, out of that building, we're going to burn the whole building down. We're going to burn the whole block down. You're going to burn your house down. That's what they told the people that lived in that allowed him to sleep in their couch. And he said, out of his own mouth, he said, there were times, it took everything in me not to say anything or retaliate because I would have been strung up on some willow tree. This is on this is a nationally televised thing. Matter of fact, see if you can pull that, Baba Kashaw. See if you can find one. It might be the one that you reposted, that where he actually said that if he actually see if you can get that whole clip.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. No sweat.
On the last part though, it'll be good.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, let's see, because he actually said, if he would actually retaliate.
They have an 8-minute clip on YouTube.
No, I don't think we need the 8-minute clip because it's not that long.
You need to skip, but it does continue in that same sequence.
Yeah.
I can just.
Yeah. See if you can. Bubble. Because as he was telling that story, he went into that other part where, he was sleeping on the couch. Mm-hmm. And it was probably like 20 seconds longer after that. It wasn't like a cut sequence. It's probably at the end because they went to commercial after that. Probably at the end. That's it. Hold on. Let it play. Bubble Shaw.
I gotta share the screen on this first.
Okay. All right, we're gonna get to. I need y'all to hear this. Hear this out of Mr. October's mouth himself. Where this is, like I said, this is not that long ago. It's not that long ago. We could think of Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King and who else was back then? Al Sharpton, who was a CIA informant, right, working with the mob. Go ahead, play it.
Can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner, and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here. Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers. We'll go where we're wanted. Fortunately, I had a manager, Johnny McNamara, that if I couldn't eat in the place, nobody would eat. We'd get food to travel. If I couldn't stay in a hotel, they'd drive to the next hotel and find a place where I could stay. Had it not been for Raleigh Fingers, Johnny McNamara, Dave Duncan, Joe and Sharon Rudy, I slept on their couch 3-4 nights a week for about a month and a half. Finally, they were threatened that they would burn our apartment complex down unless I got out. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. The year I came here, Bull Connor was the sheriff the year before. And they took minor league baseball out of here because in 1963, the Klan murdered 4 black girls, children, in 11, 12, 14 years old at a church here and never got indicted. They were from the Klan. Life magazine did a story on them like they were being honored. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. At the same time, had it not been for my white friends, had it not been for a white manager and Rudy, Fingers, and Duncan, and Lee Myers, I would have never made it. I was too physically violent. I was ready to physically fight I'd have got killed here because I'd have beat someone's ass, and you'd have saw me in an oak tree somewhere.
Reggie,
right there, Paul.
Wow.
Yes, they were staring. What just happened?
Right.
What just happened? He talked about the girls that got, you know, blew up in that church bombing, and they were they had a story. The people who did it, who committed this murder, this red rumming, they had a story printed out them in Life magazine, the same Life magazine that's still going on today. And he said it seemed like that they were, you know, memorializing those guys that actually did it. You know what I'm saying? And he's in his mind, because of not Reggie Jackson, but you know, Martin Luther King, because of Al Sharpton and every other Christian pastor, he thinks that those oppressors, you know, were his friends. But there is by allowing him to sleep on their sofas, you know what I'm saying? Allowing them to sleep on their sofa for almost 2 months, a month and a half. There is no difference in their mind that he's like their dog. Good, like a good master allowing their dog to sleep on the couch. He doesn't see it that way because he's not in the truth. But we all see, people in the truth really understand what's going on. They are I would say he is the attraction. People came to see him. He was the reason why they were winning. And so they had to protect him. And it was like their investment. They weren't friends. They just like he said, he was too physically violent. You know what I'm saying? They had to keep him from doing something. And if he would have done something, you heard it right there. He would have probably been hanging from some oak tree. Why? Because that's how they get down. That's how they got down. And that wasn't 100 years ago. That wasn't in the 1800s. That was less than 50 years ago. Less than 50 years ago. We all know somebody 50 years old. We all know somebody who's 50 years old who probably have gone through something like that. Especially in the deep south. You ain't even got to be 50 to go through something like that. These bastards, these wicked bastards, threatened to burn down the whole entire apartment complex. What did everybody else do to deserve it? And you know what? You know what's crazy? It's probably their neighbors. It was probably the neighbors that lived in, you know, the apartment up and down the hall from them. It was probably a neighbor that lived down the hall on the same floor from them that threatened to burn this down. It reminds me of when Colin Kaepernick took that knee, you know what I'm saying, as a protest. And people, white oppressors, started burning their own clothes, you know what I'm saying, their own clothes. They already bought it. It was theirs. Why would you burn it? You know what I'm saying? So these oppressors was threatening to burn down most likely their own building. Most likely their own building. And if they weren't, why did the other people, what did the other people have to do with that couple or that, you know, one oppressor allowing Reggie Jackson, the baseball player, future Hall of Famer at that time, you know, award-winning Major League Baseball household name, Reggie Jackson. He was a household name. There's a reason why they call him Mr. October. There's a reason why they call him Mr. October, and they still wouldn't allow him to sleep in that one building. When LeBron James moved out to LA, what'd they do?
They spray painted nigger on his garage,
on his driveway,
yeah, something like that, something nigger, yeah.
Twice. The first time they did it, he painted over it. Didn't say anything about it. They did it again. That's when it made the news. LeBron James is what at the time he was, well, even now he's still considered, you know, a GOAT. And many people, he's what is one of the biggest debates. Who's better, LeBron or MJ? You know what I'm saying? He was a world champion. He won gold Olympic medals. You know what I'm saying? Household name. Never had a scandal. You know what I'm saying? But yet when he came to the Lakers and moved out to LA, they reminded him, you may be in a house, but you still a nigga.
Right.
They reminded him. And when he went to go and take it down, they put it right back up. They put it right back up. So what you think, if they can do that to LeBron, you know, what was it, about 4 or 5 years ago? Did that happen?
Yep.
What do you think that they would have done when there was no cameras? Like they have cameras now. When it has like little grainy cameras. If that. And if that, they didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't give a damn.
Right.
Why? Because we're less than human to them. Their dogs are better than, you know, they take better care of their dogs and their cats than they would rather take care of us.
Right.
But let me tell you something. We don't need y'all to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? We don't need y'all for nothing. With friends like that, who needs enemies? We don't need you. And it's the sooner our people realize that we don't need you, and we should take our love from you people and put it on the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
Man, we be in the kingdom of heaven right now. Right now. You know what? You know what the type of spirit, you know, needs to go on? All of us? The Alabama brawl spirit. Salakia.
Right.
You see one of us, you know, getting beat down, whether it's physically or mentally or, you know, financially, all of us come together. All of us come together and help that brother and sister. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of us are in better position to step up and say something than others, but we all have an opportunity to help a brother out. Just like I told you that story with that nurse. She was about to go through hell. And 9 times out of 10, I'm willing to bet the person who was supposed to be doing the psyche vow wasn't like her. Wasn't a black man or woman. Shalom. I'm willing to bet that. And they wouldn't have understood that, hey, man, she's just scratching her head, dude. She's just scratching her head. Boom. Nothing. There's nothing to it. But you take an oppressor and you put them in a position like this, man. Who knows what would have happened to us?
Right.
Who knows what will happen to us? And because of that, you know, we're in positions like this. And we in positions like this is because we listen to people like, you know, the wicked Christian pastors. But the scripture says, woe unto them that scatter, you know, destroys and scatter his sheep. This is coming from the Most High God.
Right.
It's coming from the Most High God. You tell us that you know, Christ is white. You tell us that the Jews is white. You tell us that, you know, we can, the laws are done away with, that we can still eat, that we can now eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. If you know, we're allowed to divorce one another. That if you have a medical reason, you can smoke weed. You know, churches teach that. Was it Jamal Bryant that said he's going to have a weed farm and teach your brothers to go out and learn agriculture? You know, we need more potatoes. You know what I'm saying? We need more tomatoes. We need more beans and whatnot. They can learn agriculture through that, and that's lawful. Who says why you got to put in a weed farm in the church? Nonetheless, so your church money is going to a weed farm sponsored by the church to bring all the young men's in there. There's a reason why he's setting this up. He's not like us. Let's put it that way. He's not like us. He's not like us.
Right.
Give me real quick, Salakia. Where we at? Give me Deuteronomy 28, 18 and 20. I'm gonna close it out with that.
Deuteronomy 18 and 20.
Yeah. No, hold on. I'm gonna stay in Jeremiah 14. No, give me Deuteronomy 28.
18?
18 and 20, yeah. Deuteronomy 18 and 20. Salakia.
All right, I got it when you're ready.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name.
So the prophet, T.D. Snakes, Thefia Dollar, Jamal Bryant, all these wicked pastors that would presume to speak a word in the Most High's name, right?
Which I have not commanded him to speak.
They say, you can eat pork. All you got to do is pray over it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to divorce your husband because he ain't got a job, that's fine, because he ain't got a job. How's he going to provide? That's what they're saying that God says, but God never said any of that crap, right? Keep going.
Or that shall speak in the name of other gods.
Or shall speak in the name of other gods. God loves everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is who they speaking the other gods of. God loves everybody. This is who they're talking about, right? Keep going.
Even that prophet shall die.
Shall have eternal what? Life. Even
that prophet shall die.
That prophet shall go away. Shall go night. You ever go night, nigga? You ever go night, nigga? But that's what the Most High God is saying. He's saying this very, very clearly. Any prophet, when they say prophet, you're talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, because no one else is a prophet. No one else in any other nation is a prophet.
Right.
So he's talking specifically about us. He's talking about your TD Snakes, your Theffield Dollars, Jamal Bryants. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about all these wicked, evil bastards, these Martin Luther Kings, these Jesse Jacksons, these Al Sharptons, Geno Jennings, you know what I'm saying? And all the Israelites out there, false prophets. If they speak in a false word that's not according to the Most High God, they going bye-bye.
Right.
And you know what? There's another scripture that says anybody who follows them and do what they say, they're going bye-bye too.
That's right.
They go night, nigga.
That's right.
You don't want to follow that, and you don't want to endure what Reggie Jackson had to endure,
right?
Because these false prophets taught us a false word that we should integrate with these wicked bastards. Like I said, this is but a few decades ago. It's not that long ago. We all know people who was alive when this was happening. Yep. And guess what? The people who were alive when this was happening, they had children. What in the hell do you think they taught their children? What do you think they taught their children? They taught their children to do the exact same thing that they were taught. They were in the kitchen listening to their parents and their grandparents and their uncles and aunts and listening to their family friends talk about how Reggie Jackson is upstairs or he's down the block living in a white neighborhood, trying to go to a white restaurant, trying to go to a white hotel. They heard about this and they saw how the way the adults in the room reacted and responded, grabbing the shotgun and trying to go down there and get him out. Who do you think is in the positions of power right now? Who do you think are our lawyers? Who do you think are our doctors? You know what I'm saying? Our physician, our pharmacists and whatnot. Who do you think are these? These are the people that were taught by, was raised by these people. These people, their children are teaching our children. And you want to be equal with that? You want to be equal with that? These are the firefighters and the policemen and women and the EMTs that supposed to come when we call. You think they're gonna with the Hippocratic oath do no harm to us? No, they're going to harm us.
Right.
They are the cause of the harm. Why? Because the people that said that threatened to burn down a whole apartment building because one man is in there. Did they do that to pedophile? Salakia. Did they do that to, what can I call
For the P word?
Yeah.
I was going to say child abusers.
For the child abusers. Do you think they did that for child abusers? They wouldn't do that for child abusers, but they would do that for a multi-millionaire black man athlete who doesn't have any, causes or any problems or any troubles. They wouldn't do that for a child abuser, but they would do that for a black man. They're not like us. And we are not, thank God we are not like them. Right. We're trying to be like them, right. But we need to get up out of there. Right. Why? Did anybody else have anything on the chat? Nope. With that, I pass the class over to President Officer Barack.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street of Harlem, New York, under Commander Yahanna, who rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They here to share themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew when it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you get to the treasury department of the teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation is going to be the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. That'll be the first day of the 7th month, which will be Wednesday, October 2nd of this year. We're going to find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. As well, we have the upcoming cookouts that's coming up. I think the next one is Atlanta. Is Atlanta?
Atlanta's the first one. Yeah.
Atlanta is the first one that's going to come up. You understand the dates?
I think it's actually in there.
Right, Atlanta. That's going to be July 4th through the 7th. All right. You want to focus on July 4th through the 7th if you want to make it out to the Atlanta cookout. Salakia. I want to say that's Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah,
Detroit
Midwest.
is August 1st through the 4th. New York is August 30th through September. I want to say first. It just says through September.
September 1st.
Through September 1st. In Southern California, September 26th through the 29th. Houston, October 31st through November 3rd. You understand? Make sure you make those arrangements if you want to attend any of these major cookouts that are going to take place in the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. Also tonight, we got Commander Yahanna going live at 9 p.m. on Commander Yahanna's channel on YouTube. Make sure you tune in on that. You understand? Click that like button, click that share button, get in the comment section. You understand? Run that algorithm up. You understand? Once again, that'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is anything you want to add on that?
No.
All right. Remind Akim and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black pants, black hat on a scarf. And with that, I say Amaju, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amaju Shabbat, Amaju, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah.
Tough. Class of